All right, first and foremost, I'm going to say call halal Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai, man. We're going to jump straight into it, right? So what's happened through the process of time, people have no idea, people have not learned the idea of how to be holy. Nobody knows what that is. Consistently, we see in these Christian churches, they'll see a Christian pastor, he's automatically holy, he's saved and sanctified, he knows more than me. This person goes to church every Sunday, they're automatically holy. But they don't know what it takes to be holy. They don't know the type of grind and how dissonant you have to be with the world to be called holy, to be a set apart person. But hold what you got, give me Revelation 13. Because since the West and the European powers have taken over the planet and their main theology is Christianity, right? Their main theology is Christianity, and through the process of time, through the Nicene Creed theology, our people have lost what any type of theology means. They've lost the understandings thereof. They don't understand what it means to be set apart. That doesn't mean to be in a position to where you love God. They don't know what it means to actually love God. Our people don't know anything. They just parakeet what a pastor says, and they learn human rules that don't equate to anything. Not God's rules, not God's laws and statutes and commandments. Give me Revelation 13. Yeah, from the top.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, from the top. Bring it out. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. 7 heads and 10 horns. This is making reference to Daniel 7 about that Roman Empire. What came out of the Roman Empire? The Christianity and the Holy Roman Empire. You know what came out of that and those type of theologies? The Nicene Creed. That's where you get the virgin birth. That's where you don't have to keep the laws no more. That's where you get Christ or Yahweh literally is God. That's where you get all these crazy theologies that take you away from the true essence and the true understanding of what the Father is, right? If you don't understand the order of His Son, you don't understand the order of the Holy Spirit, you don't understand the order of Yahweh the Father in heaven, you don't understand nothing that's going on with this book. And through the process of time, that's been the prevailing teachings and understandings of the Bible. Right.
But we can't find that in the Bible. Nowhere. That's why people don't understand stuff. Go to verse where it says the other beast. What's up? What you got going on, man?
No, man, just walking around listening.
Just listening? What you curious about?
Anything. I think white supremacy is a problem in America.
And
My
planet.
mom's a first-gen immigrant. And planet,
Yeah.
Especially in America. My mom's a first-gen immigrant from Mexico. So we've definitely had a few interactions with white people that weren't as savory.
So you're talking about was your mother like a full-blooded Mexican?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's from Nuevo Laredo. She moved up here when she was 20. She was a teacher down there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you can't bring teaching licenses up from Mexico. That's a racial thing.
I didn't know that.
Canada, if you have a teaching license in Canada, it is transferable down.
Oh, that's racist.
That's crazy.
That's literally racist. That's crazy.
It's harder to get a teaching license from Canada or from Mexico to America.
Yeah.
Canada to America.
Yeah, that's
Just
racist.
as crossing the border is a lot easier that way than that way.
Yeah, that's absolutely racist. That's funny. I didn't even know that.
I saw what you were talking about.
What about your father?
Father, same thing. My dad was a Fort Worth blood for 20 years. He's a Mexican native person, banged up tattoos, full head, everything. And obviously that comes with some problems with white people. He's got piercings like me. He's got tattoos, Chicano art, all of that. So a lot of people who are whiter seem scary, seem as like gangster. But as I've known him, like the past 10 years of my life, he's grown a lot. He went to prison, and now he's out of gangs. He's out of all that. He's doing good with his kids, doing good with his bills. And I think people give a lot less opportunity to gang members than they should because they're just like us.
So, but before we continue any further, so your parents, both of them, they're all just native Mexicans, right?
Oh yeah, my dad was in Fort Worth, born in Fort Worth, but he is Mexican. We're in Texas.
Like Mexican, as in like
culturally and blood.
Okay. You know,
That's what you're asking.
right? I'm asking that because you believe in the Bible?
So my family's Catholic. So
I see why you'd have a problem with the Bible if your family's Catholic.
yes.
Yeah.
You know the problems with Catholicism, you know the problems that come with the toxicity of it. And I have been straying away from the Bible. I don't know whether I'm religious or not. I'm a very existential person, so I do believe something is there. I don't really know if it's a higher power, if it's me, if I'm the higher power, or if we're just here, you know?
I mean, obviously we can't be the higher power, because if all of us were a higher power, we wouldn't be in a position to where we have to want for anything.
Right.
So like that can't be.
There's some people who believe that, and
You know, I mean, there's a lot of people who do drugs too.
Oh yeah. We're in Dallas,
there's a lot of people making a lot of bad decisions out
in
here.
the DFW, yes.
Yeah, but now as far as a God or a theological power, right? So things like redlining, all the stuff I put on this sign, like all the stuff we went through, we can relate that to that stuff that's supposed to happen to the Israelites in the Bible, right? All the specific things that we go through that nobody else seems to have to go through, but for some reason we've been over here for years and go through the same exact thing. The reason why that is because we're actually the true Israelites. You heard of the Jews?
Yes.
Like the Jews according to the Bible, right? Have you heard of that?
Israelites from Jerusalem, yes.
Yes, that's who we are.
Returning to Jerusalem.
Yes and no, right? But
depending on how you view it, where you come from.
Yeah, depending on time. I mean, but we know who we're talking about, right?
Yeah, we can push as far back as we want.
Yeah, so but all these things that I was saying, these are supposed to happen to the actual true children of Israel. And we're telling our people, for us to reverse this, for us to be on top, us to go back into our land, we have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Something we haven't done. Because watch this, read this real quick.
Now, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 22.
Yeah.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Yeah.
They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
They're what?
And they are hid in prison houses.
So this is something that will happen to the Israelites in the future, because if you look in the laws, Israel doesn't have a prison system. We don't deal with like prisons and like you go to court and do, that's not in the Bible. You do something, there's a judgment for it. There's that's not going to happen. Yeah, somebody's going to put you in prison houses. And when you're in prison houses, read that again from the top.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Yeah.
They are all of them snared in holes.
Yes, snared in holes. A snare is a trap. All these things that we've gone through is a trap. Like this right here, let's start with Jim Crow. They could just pull up at your house, beat you in front of your wife, and leave.
And what's ICE doing to Mexicans right now?
That
Legal
too.
Mexicans.
That too, right? All the things that happened during segregation, that's a trap. We couldn't go nowhere. They brought us over here with no way of getting back, with no way of having any type of help. That's a trap. You're stuck in that. Keep going.
All of them snared in holes.
Yeah.
And they are hid in prison houses.
They're hid where?
Hid in prison houses.
Now, right after this, chattel slavery, they came out with what? The black codes. Black codes and the Jim Crow laws. If you were loitering, like the 13th Amendment, it's illegal to basically enslave people, except for what? Except for prisoners. Now you get mass incarceration, the thing that would happen to the actual Israelites.
And look at Dallas-Fort Worth. What is our main incarcerated individuals?
Black and Mexicans, right? That's something that's supposed to happen to the Israelites. All these things is stuff that's supposed to happen to the Israelites and nobody else. That's why one people enjoys life, and a whole group of people enjoy life, and others don't.
You look at these towers that are towering above us, like who are in those? But white people.
Give me that. Hold it, Professor. Hold that. Get Deuteronomy 28. We're talking about the stranger that is within you. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. To get up very high. Because watch this, right? It's funny you said that. That's also something that was
Oh no.
That's also something that was prophesied to happen to the Israelites. Deuteronomy 28 and 43.
Oh my God, I'm getting too far. There we go. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee.
Hold up. Now, stranger, when you look in the Hebrew, this is talking about somebody who's not you, specifically here in this context. Somebody who's not the Israelite.
May I ask what book you're reading from?
Out of the Bible?
No. What type of Bible? King
Regular
James?
KJV.
King James?
Yeah. So right here, in this instance, this stranger right here is somebody strange to the Israelites, specifically a non-Israelite. Keep going.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
Get above thee very high, and what shall happen?
And thou shalt come down very low.
So you see who's ruling this world right now. Look who's occupying and having ownership of all these skyscrapers. That's due to their wealth. Their wealth is what separates between us and them. You see how
that wealth doesn't come from them. That wealth comes from exploiting us and passing that down to their children.
To their children, and the stranger is within.
Just as the royals in the UK do.
Yeah.
The white royals pass it down There's black people in UK,
Yeah.
obviously, but how often do we see those in the tower or in the castle?
Nowhere. Nowhere. But back to the point specifically though, right? Through the process of time, they've been here and we've been here.
Okay.
One person has been exalted above everybody else, but these people, the true Jews and the true Israelites, they're going to be brought down very low. We make up if you look at the cap as far as like how much money we make and our spending power, it's more than everybody else.
Oh,
but
most
for
definitely.
some reason, we still at the bottom. You know why that is? Because God said the strangers within you shall come down, the strangers within you shall come down, go up very high, and then you shall come down very low.
Yeah, they have the commodity of opportunity. They're able to get those opportunities easier than we are because people look at us and they already know what we are, or they think they know what we are.
Yeah, and that's all testament to who? That's all testament to this God being true. This is the one that we need to believe in. Because watch this. Go to verse 68. Let me show you something.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Yeah.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
No, hold up. Bring thee into Egypt again, right? Now, when the Israelites, you know about the Israelites, right? How they left Egypt.
Yeah.
They walked out of Egypt, correct? Watch this. Read it again.
And the Lord shall...
One more thing. What happened when they were in Egypt at first? Slavery.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
They were enslaved to the Egyptians. Keep going.
Yeah.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Yeah, with what?
With ships.
So you're gonna be brought into Egypt again with ships, but you can walk from the land of Israel, where they're occupied, to Egypt. You don't need a ship to do that.
They're bringing them back.
This is a future thing. This will happen to you in the future. You will go into Egypt again with ships. How would we interpret that? What's up? Yes, I do. We'd interpret that as this is the place where we went into slavery at. So me being an Israelite who just went through that and hearing that right there, oh no, we're going back into slavery on slave ships. What does that sound like? That right there. Keep going. Oh, no. Go back. Go get what you're going to get.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, and verse 2.
Yeah.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Yeah.
Out of the house of bondage.
The house of what?
Out of the house of bondage.
The house of bondage. That's what we know Egypt is. So you're going to go into slavery again with ships. That sounds just like the transatlantic slave trade. That sounds just like when the Spaniards came and took people from Mexico and then took them back to their land.
And it's funny because you say that, and it's a lot of the workers that are taken, right? And Texas, we're big on marijuana. Well, it's not legal, but you know. And back in native Mexican times, before the Spaniards came over, we used marijuana as a work tool. They would smoke marijuana to keep the pain away so they could keep working, so they could keep harvesting.
I mean, I've never heard of that, but I mean, I can look into it. I can look into it. I've never heard of that.
What they would do, they would smoke the hashish that would come off their hands from handling the plant, and then they would work. That would take away the pain. It would take away the thoughts. They could work.
You know what's crazy about that?
And then they come over and then they make it illegal.
Not Deuteronomy, Genesis. Watch this, right? Because you know, every time we go talking about Hispanics, you know what the main thing we always talking about? Them working, man.
Oh yeah.
You know why that is? Watch this. Give me that Genesis.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 14.
Before you read that, look, you see Issachar right there at the bottom, right? That's who we believe the Mexicans are. Watch this.
Genesis chapter 49 verse 14. Issachar is a strong ass.
Yeah.
Couching down between two burdens.
Couching down between two burdens. How Issachar is a strong ass. What do you use a donkey for?
To move, to work.
To work. Issachar is a strong ass, right? And what's also an image or an animal that you always see in their architecture and in their flags and things like that?
Horses
a donkey.
and donkeys. Horses and donkeys.
Is that a coincidence?
No, not at all. Look at the stockyards.
But I want you to realize this though, right? We are these people.
Oh yeah.
Those people who we claim to be Issacharites, who the world calls Mexicans, are these people. That's right. God left all this for us to see. We just don't read it. We spend time going to these iglesias, these regular churches, Baptist churches, Catholic churches, but never read this, because this has to fit somebody. Start at verse 1.
Come on. Genesis chapter 49 verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Come on. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together.
Yeah.
Hold
up. Jacob called him to his sons. Jacob's name is changed to Israel. He's talking about the Israelites. He calls all these people on the sign, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, so on, right? Issachar being one of them. Keep going.
Go on, that I may tell you that what shall befall you in the last days.
What shall happen to you in the last days? So this is a prophecy. So somebody has to fit this. And then me knowing somebody has to fit this, I look at the Hispanics, all they're known for is work, right? Even Issachar means like somebody unto tribute, right? Somebody who's supposed to be unto working, right? His name goes into work, right? He's supposed to be a strong ass crouching between two burdens. Now we look at Mexico. Where's Mexico located in the map?
Right, but
right between America and South America. Are both of them kind to them? No. If you sit back and look at it, no, they're not. Those are the two burdens. Somebody has to, if this God is true, somebody has to fit this. And you know who fits this? The Mexicans.
Yeah.
That's right.
And when you look at in Mexico, there's a city, I talk about this all the time. There's a city there called Issachar. The same name we claim are Israelites.
Oh yeah.
That's our people, bro. That we are the people in this book. When you read about the Jews and the Israelites walking around, we're descendants
And
of
the
that.
only reason why Catholicism was brought to Mexico and to America was the Spaniards. It wasn't the Israelites, or it wasn't anybody who moved God like that. It was Spaniards, people who weren't near God at the time.
And it's crazy. It's crazy you say that, because right before you walked up, I was talking about the Holy Roman Church, where they came and started.
That's part of that area.
Yeah,
That's
they came and brought that right there. You see that? Christ being a white man.
Oh yeah, the white
How
man Jesus.
can that possibly be? Everybody in that area is melanated or dark.
Oh yeah,
but
even
for
Egypt.
some reason,
even Egypt, they're not fully dark, but they're.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the ancient ones were.
Oh yeah,
they were darker, right? But I mean, that's neither here nor there, right? But they brought that guy. That's an actual person named Caesar Borgia. You see that right there? Or Caesar Borgia. You see that picture
That's
right?
a drawing by what's it called? Oh, I know his name. He's the same
it's
person.
Rodrigo something. I forget. Is it?
No, there's another person that drew
or Michelangelo. Who?
Da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci drew a white man, and that was supposedly his gay lover. He was drawing a picture, because you have to have a reference to draw somebody.
Yeah, that's Caesar Borgia.
You have to have a reference of somebody.
That's crazy. That's
yes.
But no, the problem with that is we don't read that anywhere in this text. When I look at the Israelites, and who I believe are Israelites, they're Shalom, it's your time. Shalom, Yodi. Hey, y'all gonna get beat next week though. I want you to know that. But where I was there, right? When I read, give me Acts chapter 13. When I read about the Israelites, I read about them being melanated. Like even Paul, like the Apostle Paul, was mistaken for an Egyptian. Right. At that time, they were very dark. So how are we going to give that if Christ is a white man, according to them? Christ is a white man. The person who shares the same nationality as him is mistaken for an Egyptian. How is that? What about when Christ had to hide in Egypt?
Oh yeah.
If he was a white man, you would have. Okay, that's a white man. What are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? So give me the Acts 13. Watch this.
The book of Acts, chapter 13 and verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called niggers.
Called what?
Called niggers.
So we got Jews called the N-word, man.
Oh yeah.
So I'm supposed to believe that's Christ? I'm supposed to believe that's Christ.
Honestly, I'm not one to Christianity right now. Yeah. I mean, I may be in the future. I've never believed in the white man Jesus, because it really doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make. Even the Israelites, if you look at them, people from Palestine, people from Israel, they're all at least darker skinned.
At least, but here's the thing: if they got that wrong, what else did they get wrong? And they came with Christianity. We up here, we're not.
And those Bibles are translated. Those Bibles are translated to different languages.
Before we get there, right?
You got
now we don't believe in Christianity, the doctrine. We're Christians as far as we follow Christ. But what they brought over there, when they brought that's not Christ.
The evangelical.
That like Christ being a white man, Christ is came from a virgin birth, things like that. That's not in the Bible. Oh, yeah. When you sit down and read it, that's not there.
And any hatred, I've noticed, like any hatred you see that is refuted to Christians, that is said to be Christians, a lot of times is not true Christians. I read a lot of the Bible. It's not true Christians that are hating, because you know Christian, they're supposed to be love thy neighbor. So why is it that a white Christian woman is hating on me for my white lifestyle? Or why is a white man hating on me for my lifestyle?
What you mean?
I mean, even I've known evangelical Christians get mad at my family for being Catholic. just for the fact that we believe in the Virgin Mary, or worship the Virgin Mary, I mean, instead of Jesus. And I think that's very, I forgot where I was going, I'm not gonna lie. I'm tired, bro.
But talking about that, like, we shouldn't worship the creation.
And a lot of the hatred, that's where I was going. A lot of the hatred that we see nowadays is from either white or white evangelical Christians that are not true Christians. Look at what's happening in the government right now. What are all the laws coming into place? Banning books, doing all this. What are they favoring? White evangelical Christians.
Yeah, the status quo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this really, all this happening and all the results of this.
It's trying to hold the status quo.
We just keep the status quo. Yeah. It is how it is, right?
But I mean, you can even see it in maps. The Mercator imaging of the map of the world is made to be bigger on the north side of the North Hemisphere. Where's all the white people? The North Hemisphere in Europe. It makes it grow.
I never really thought about that though.
The Mercator imaging, you can't show a sphere on a flat plane, right?
Yeah.
So you have to grow it or distort it in some way. And so when Mercator made this imaging, it was originally for shipping, but what it did was enlarged Greenland. If you look at a map, Greenland looks fucking huge, right? It's not. If you look at America, not that big.
Yeah, it's skewed in favor for the West.
Oh yeah, but if you look at the South, who is the most used communities? The Southern Hemisphere. I'm thinking Colombia, I'm thinking Brazil, I'm thinking all of Africa. I mean, all of them have been used for their minerals for thousands of years. Yeah. So same with the Mexicans. And I mean, there's so many countries in the South that have been used for so much, from Egypt down to South Africa. There's been hatred all the way down by the white person.
Yeah. You're right. You really stopped it. I can't really even. And there's a reason for that though. There's a reason. Hold on, give me that Ezekiel 35. There's a reason for that, because you remember earlier when I talked about like all this stuff happens because we've done X, Y, and Z to the Father, right? I'll talk about that earlier. We don't keep His commandments. And the way to get out of this, we have to keep His commandments and we'll be on top. The reason why they get to do that with no type of recourse is because we don't keep the commandments. And they fulfill this right here. Watch this. Start at verse 5. Watch this.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5.
Yeah.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Thou hast had a what?
A perpetual hatred.
A perpetual hatred. This is talking about the Edomites in the Bible. These people who continually hated the Israelites. Right now, bringing it back to modern day times, right? If we are the Israelites, and for some reason there's a specific people and a nation group of people who has perpetual hatred towards us throughout centuries, are we going to put 2 and 2 together? We're going to have to.
Oh yeah.
These people right here, the less melanated people, the Europeans, they have to be the Edomites. Because watch this, keep going.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel
that
by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
And blood shall what?
And blood shall pursue thee.
Now, they want to talk about black on black crime, but what about all that white on white crime they have over there in Europe?
Oh, yeah.
They've never been united. The only thing they've been united in is doing this. That's outside of that, they've not been united in anything. They continue to have wars. Even look at today.
In the fact that they're white.
Yeah, but even look at today. Russia and Ukraine, right? It's white on white crime. They want to talk about us, but they've been hating and warring with each other for way longer than we've been over here hating each other.
Okay.
Let's be honest. But those people are the Edomites. The Lord's got a problem. Let me watch this. Isaiah 63. Now, since that, because I know you probably let me show you 2 more things.
He's got another bath message.
Okay.
You want to keep that Ezekiel 35?
No, we can drop that. Give me the Isaiah 63. Now, let me show you what's going to happen to them for what they've done, because the Lord's not the Lord that we believe in. His name is Yahweh in the Hebrew.
Yeah.
He's not going to allow this to go on for very much longer. Right. Something's going to happen for what they've done. Matter of fact,
I mean, tensions are rising right now.
34, chapter 34. This is better.
Drop that.
Yeah, you can drop that. 34. Start at verse. It says, "Come near, y'all heavens, cast out." Yes. Verse 5. Watch
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
So the sword that the Lord's going to bring upon the Edomites, the destruction is going to come for them, is going to be bathed in heaven. It's going to come from the skies, right? Now, what do we know can destroy a nation that comes from the skies?
Shit.
An ICBM
I was
missile.
gonna say hail.
What did Russia just send a few months ago? An ICBM missile. That's how they're going to destroy each other. Watch this. Keep going.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
Yeah.
Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
Idumea, the so-called white man. That's how they're going to be destroyed. And remember, you said tensions are rising.
Oh, yeah.
These tensions are going to lead to a World War III when they're going to drop these swords that's been bathed in heaven called ICBM missiles. That's how they're going to be destroyed. Keep going.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
Yeah.
Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
Yeah.
And upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Judgment. The Lord's already prepared a judgment for them. That's what's going to happen. But in the meantime, because I know you probably got time, but in the meantime, what you need to do, give me Revelation 14 and 12, right? You need to put yourself in a position to be saved. Like that's the ultimate goal of us being out here. We're trying to put because you know in the church they say we're already saved. Mm-hmm. That's not biblical. You're not saved until the end, like how Christ says in Matthew chapter 24.
All that baptism, that's all.
Yeah, you have to show forth works to show that you believe in Him and walk a certain type of way. Read this.
Book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 12.
Yeah.
Here is the patience of the saints. Mm-hmm. Here are they that keep the commandments of God.
Yeah.
And the faith of Jesus.
Here are the people who the saints. The saints are the Israelites, the set apart ones. Those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Christ. That's two things you have to do. These are people who are going to be saved. If you don't do those things, there's no hope for you, right? But I'm going to leave you with that because I know this is a lot,
Hey,
right?
I appreciate it. That was a good talk, man.
It's a good talk, man. I'm going to leave you with that.
I appreciate it. You too.
You got to keep the commandments in the faith,
get that
man.
mic for you.
Oh, yeah. Let me get that. Yeah, man. Take it easy, man. Yeah. Hell yeah. Right. Hey, somebody give me one. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Yo. Get it. Yeah. What's up?
Oh, so now I guess he's not Israel no more now, huh? I thought we were beating to the mirrors. I thought we were teaching them.
Look, I did my job. I did my job. I don't give.
He gonna end up joining it, and he gonna be over there.
Yeah. Cause look, hold on, real fast. Give me Isaiah, Acts 13 and 38.
He definitely was on point.
Yeah.
You still want to just let him know?
Yeah, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it.
13 and 38.
Yeah, because the thing is what we gotta realize, bro. We have a job to do. I don't get like. You look at what Paul was literally killing Christians. And we're going to talk about a man's lifestyle and disqualify. Paul was killing Christians. Paul was killing not these Christians, the original Christians. Paul was doing that. How much, if Paul can get grace, everybody else can get grace. Everybody of Israel can get grace for what they're doing. I have a job to do. I don't give a damn about that. Go ahead,
That's
read
right.
this.
Acts chapter 13, verse 38.
Yeah.
But it's known unto you,
Yeah.
therefore men and brethren,
Yeah.
that though this man is preached unto you the forgiveness of sins.
So through Christ, like what we do, we present Christ to people. We present our understanding of the Bible. Right? Keep going.
Come on, verse 39. And by him all that believe are justified from all things.
Yeah.
From which you could not be justified by the law of Moses.
So earlier, if that man had whatever type of lifestyle before Christ, he has no type of repentance whatsoever. But since Christ died, he has the ability to repent. I have a job to do. I don't give a damn about how people feel, right?